Good morning. The Brownfield Redevelopment Authority comes to order right now. Okay, and can I get can I get a motion for excused absences?
Who?
I'm sorry, for Jeff Edwards and Lene Wells.
Thank you. So moved.
Support.
Supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry, I will wake up. And then now is the time for public comment on agenda items. So if anybody's here to speak with us about agenda items, you're welcome to come up. We're not too scary. Okay. Any conflict of interest this time?
Yes. I'd like to report a conflict of interest with item, thank you. With item 1 on the agenda, I work for ICCF Community Homes, and Seeds of Promise has an option agreement for 3 parcels, which are a part of the redevelopment plan under review today.
Oh, great. Okay, then we will notice that conflict and have you
Yes.
have a different seat while we talk about it.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, can I get a motion for approval of minutes for September 24th of '25?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, are there any changes or additions that anybody wants to add? All right, all those in favor of approval of the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we're going to start with financial statements. This is an interim financial statement as of September 30th of '25. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, hi.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. So these are financials as of September 30th. The authority's balance sheet on Statement A indicates the authority's in a strong position for fiscal year 2026 and beyond. Authority has spent 2% and 5.2% of its budgeted appropriations in the operating and revolving fund, respectively. Statement A reflects that strong pooled cash and strong fund balance for both. Statement B reflects the revenue and expenses. Tax increment revenues have posted as of September, so you'll see that in the operating fund. Excuse me. Statement B1 reflects just the revenues that have been collected by project for you guys. And then Statement C reflects the expenses we'd be looking to get your approval on for the month of September.
Okay,
I can take any questions if there are any.
I'm going to start with our treasurer here.
No questions this month.
Oh, awesome.
Wow, awesome.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have questions about this item? Oh, good. Okay. All those in favor of the motion to approve?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. And
Thanks so
now we're
much.
down to our action items, and I'll let you excuse yourself with your conflict of interest, please. This is, I need a motion for a resolution approving a Brownfield amendment for the Seeds of Promise redevelopment project.
So moved.
Support.
And supported. Great, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm really excited to bring forward this project, which is new to me, right, from a scattered Brownfield plan amendment perspective, which is very exciting. So the request before all of you this morning is for approving an Act 301 Brownfield plan amendment for the Seeds of Promise redevelopment project, which is going to be located over a total of 13 different parcels, and which will equate to 14 new homes that are going to be a smart home, so a pre-manufactured smart home, which we're excited to learn a little bit more about today from our development teams that's here. So we have manufactured 1, 2, and 3 bedroom homes. And so again, a total of 14 new homes that are going to be across 13 different parcels that are noted in the Brownfield plan amendment alongside the presentation behind me, but all the way from 1018 Prospect Street Southeast all the way to 615 Cordelia. So quite a bit on Alexander Street Southeast as well. And we have that breakdown. 7 one-bedroom homes will be for 80% of area median income for Kent County. 2 of those 3 two-bedroom homes at 100% of area median income, and 4 three-bedroom homes at 120% of area median income. All in, this project's about $3.8 million in total project costs, $2.9 million of those being hard construction costs. I did want to highlight the inclusion plan goals for this project. So 50% of the total project cost is attributable to specialized installation of these prefabricated housing units. And so the work can only be done by 2 state-certified entities for these projects, and one of them which qualifies towards MBE, WBE, or MLBE participation. So I wanted to note that out of the all of the inclusionary opportunity amounts to about $286,000 of the 1.6 hard construction costs that are eligible, which is roughly 17% participation in the inclusion plan goals for this project. And in addition to that, the development team does have roughly $84,000 in professional services costs, and which is a goal of roughly 100% for the soft costs there. Again, this project is requesting housing tax increment financing as part of the Brownfield plan, about $1.2 million in eligible activity costs all in, and 25 years of affordability for those 14 income qualified units. And all the housing development activities, so the financing gap or potential development loss for the creation and sale of these housing units is valued about $1.175, or an average of about $83,000 per unit. Construction is anticipated to start relatively quickly as soon as we kind of make through the local approval processes. So anticipating winter of 2025, maybe spring of 2025, and then the anticipated completion is to be 6 months to 12 months. So a really quick turnaround, which we're excited to hear about as well. I would now like to turn it over to Reginald Thomas and David Allen and Jared Belka, who are all working on this exciting project, and to share a few words about the scattered site and potentially answer any questions that you might have. So I'd like to invite them up.
Can I ask you a question first?
Yes,
Are
yes.
any of these lots from our land bank?
They are, yes.
Great.
Yep, 3 parcels are from the land bank, yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to piggyback off that question because I was thinking the same thing. You know, we're kind of seeing the fruits of that labor of this work and this piece. Is there any consideration or updates between some of the, I would just say some of the actions of the land bank, since this is the ones that they have had so far were the ones that you guys were doing through the state. So this would be properties under the city, our city land bank? I'm just thinking about processes or timing, if there's, I don't know when the last time they met was.
They're meeting every other month, and
Okay.
so the next meeting is the first week of December.
Got it, okay.
But these properties are in an option
Okay,
for sale. And so they haven't transitioned yet, and they came over in the April portfolio.
Okay.
And so this is all since we've acquired the state
yeah,
properties.
I think when you asked that question, it's just some of the nuances when we were doing this to what they were doing, and so I appreciate you flagging that, Lynn, so, yeah. Thanks.
I like to hear that.
Very exciting. Yes,
Thank you.
thanks for bringing that up. I apologize for missing that. So I'll turn it over to you 3. Feel free.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'll be brief and turn it over to these two, the Mind Trust over here. So excited to bring this forward. Obviously, it's one Regional and his team have been working on for a long time, partnering up with David and Innova Lab. There's a very unique kind of financing structure that David and his team were able to assemble. I'll let him talk about that. But as always, Mackenzie did a great job on the overview. Happy to answer any technical details, but I'll turn it over to the team to give some additional background.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mackenzie, Doug, Jarrett, the Oracle, and my friend David. Most importantly, at Seeds of Promise, as a bottoms-up organization, we want to thank our residents and each of you working hard in our community for our mission here at the city. We were very proud of the collaboration. It's been a very protracted process, but again, we are very proud of the humanity, the collaboration, and the focus on equity here. This is a team effort. The street, especially one of the streets on Lafayette, on Alexander, We've been there for the past couple of years, speaking with those residents, and they are supercharged. And we have an incredible group of leaders in this community that will support this project as well over the next year or two. So, long story short, again, this is an international issue in the world. And here in Grand Rapids in West Michigan, we're putting together human beings for innovative approaches that take us forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, everyone.
Hi.
Been a long time. I know most of you. I've sat in those chairs.
Yeah. Welcome.
And I know a thing or two about land banks, so it's kind of a full circle, I guess. So I want to talk a little bit about the houses. They're very unique. It's the first. The houses are a result of a collaboration between Fannie and Freddie and the Modular Manufacturer Builders Association. And what they determined was how can we build a house for less cost to address this affordable housing crisis. And so what they came up with is a program, depends if you go to Fannie or Freddie, they have different names, either Cross Mod or MH Advantage. We like to call them smart homes. What they are, they're homes built to HUD code, but they are using standard building materials, 2x6 exterior walls, 2x4 interior walls. They came up with a set of standards. It's a bulleted list, and every house has to meet these standards, from the pitch of the roof to the size of the porch to the type of cabinets that are used. And if a home is built to those standards and has a third-party inspector at the factory that validates that it was built to that standard, including Energy Star, it's given a sticker. When the home is delivered to the site, I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. When the home is delivered to the site and set on the foundation, it's permanently affixed to the foundation, and we file with the state a certificate of affixture, which means that is a permanent home. It's not a mobile home. It's a permanent home. And it has the MH Advantage sticker. The buyer of that property then can qualify for a standard Fannie and Freddie mortgage, which is highly unusual. They went so far as to give very specific direction on how these houses are appraised. We did a test. We built one for Commissioner Knight's daughter on the southeast side last year as a test, and her appraisal came back amazing. So, you're creating wealth for the people who are buying these properties, which is really exciting. Here's the other exciting part. From the time it is set on the foundation to the time it's done, we'll have a certificate of occupancy in 30 days. So we can build a home from start to finish in 30 days. I just want to highlight Alexander Street. If you go on Alexander north of the cemetery off of Eastern Avenue, tiny little street, tiny little lots, that's where all the one-bedroom homes are coming from. Every vacant lot on that block will have a new home on it. And every single time I go down that block, everybody knows me, they know my truck, they greet me. When are the houses coming? When are the houses coming? Caesar Promise did a great job organizing the community. The last thing that I'll say is, this is the first time that this product, this type of house, has been used for affordable housing in the nation. So Fannie and Freddie have been following this very closely. They're going to be involved in the process. They want to use it as a replicable model and take it across the nation. Champion Homes is the manufacturer. That's the factory that'll be building these homes. I knew that they were very committed to getting MH Advantage homes to the market quicker. It's been a struggle because there's not a vehicle to bring it to the market. And so I got them to commit to putting the houses in for free. So the houses are being provided up front, and then they're going to get repaid for the house when the home is resold. So that brings over $1 million of equity to the project just to get it started, which is really, really cutting edge. So, between the Brownfield construction financing, which is being provided by IFF, the Brownfield financing, which is being done by IFF, and the commitment from the city's housing revolving fund, and the houses up front, it needs very little red tape. We can do this very quickly. So we're really excited about it. We hope to have the first houses start to get set on the foundations in February, and we'll have them all done and sold before May. Regional has a real estate team assembled. They already have a waiting list for these homes. So this is something I think you'll see will be done quickly. So, any questions?
Any questions? Yes, Commissioner.
I just have a comment. I know you did not mean it this way, Commissioner, but they didn't make the house for Commissioner Knight. It sounded like you were like, we made it for Commissioner Knight.
No,
Obviously,
she
no.
bought. She
Yes.
got a construction loan. She hired us. We were the general.
Just for the record, I just,
No,
I got to support my colleague and make sure, just sometimes that somebody's reading a minute somewhere, so thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Just two things I wanted to add to that, if I could. So one, David mentioned in terms of the financing structure, we had requested, and I can't recall if you touched on it, a $200,000 LBRF grant to support the project sources and uses. And one other thing, David and his team have done a similar project over in Detroit. That was at the Corktown neighborhood. So they've delivered on this structure before, and it's been a great result there. So looking to obviously introduce that approach here. So
Great, thank you. Go ahead.
Just a random question. Where's Champion Homes located?
Champion is the second largest home manufacturer. Clayton Homes is the biggest. It's owned by Warren Buffett. They have 40 factories across the
Okay.
nation. These homes are going to be built in Sugar Creek, Ohio.
Okay.
Because equity and fairness is at the core of my being, before I partnered with Champion, this was years ago, I went to the factories and I actually walked the floor and talked to the people who work there. The average length of work service at this factory is 21 years.
Oh, wow.
And they make, I think, $50 an hour. So, and they do that for retention. In that area, you have so many home manufacturers and RV manufacturers. They're stealing workers all the time, so they pay their workers really good. The last thing I'll say, this is just kind of cool. They start their shift at 7 a.m. and they have a production schedule that they have to meet. If they get it done in 6 hours, they get to go home, but they still get paid for 8. So it's a very equitable, fair company. That was very important to me.
Great. Thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I just want to make a quick comment on the LBRF because it's pretty intentional that those dollars are being contributed to this project because it's for sale housing. So we've been very prudent this past fiscal year around that point. So I just want to bring it to everyone's attention.
Perfect. All right. Any other questions? Comments? Okay, thank you so much. This is awesome. And we talk a lot about needing housing, but it's always a few years away because of the process it takes to create housing. And this is going to be really interesting to watch. So thank you. Okay, so we have a resolution on the table to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, okay. All right. Could you go get Dakota? She can come back. Thank you. Do you want them to come back up?
Yes.
Which one? Okay, one of you come back up. We have a question.
I've got a question. Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. First of all, I want to just commend and congratulate the team, the development team, for making this happen. A unique and exciting project for the city and for America. It may be early to ask this question, but since you've already sort of have the model built, would you entertain phone calls from others that are interested in this sort of type of project in other cities?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to make some referrals to you.
My business partner is in Boyne as we speak, working on a 30-unit development up in Boyne using this exact same product.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in Detroit. We had to develop an entire team in Detroit to handle this because the need is so great in Detroit. So we did 7 homes in Detroit for the Gilbert Foundation for a big showcase, and the results of that have been mind-blowing. And all those in Detroit are being done through a community land trust. So
Thank you. I'll reach out.
Is the model in Boyne also housing TIF?
no,
Okay.
it's with the Housing Commission, and it's I forgot the name of the program, but
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So nice to have other cities do the learning curve for us. Okay, we have a little break, and I'm going to back up a little bit. It was my fault. We have a new board member here today, Orlando Bonifacio. Close? Okay, but welcome. Thank you so much. Maybe we can be a little more careful about not using letters and saying the land bank revolving fund or
Understood.
instead of LBR, just
Sure.
because I remember what it was like to try to keep all that straight, and it's impossible. But anyway, we're going to move on to action item number 2, I need a motion to approve A resolution approving Act 381 work plan and authorizing execution of development and reimbursement agreement for 443 Sheldon Southeast redevelopment project located at 443 Sheldon Southeast. I have a motion.
So moved. Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Go ahead.
Hello. So this project has been before this body alongside the City Commission. It's gone through the formal approval processes, so therefore it's coming back for its final stamp of approval. So this, just as a quick reminder, this project is located at 443 Sheldon Avenue Southeast. And so it's going to be an infill construction of vacant land bank lot to develop a 26-unit multifamily residential building. So they were requesting housing TIF as a part of this project. So it's about $5.4 million in total project costs. Anticipated construction start in March of 2026 and completion in February of 2027. So this is the final and formal approval locally, where we will then work to get into a grant agreement with the development team and then submit all of the information out to the Michigan State Housing Development Authority for their hopeful approval.
Awesome. That's another land bank property. I love hearing that. Okay, is there anyone else we need? Okay, nothing. Anybody have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So I had first just a question about if the owner has an MOU or some sort of agreement with a property manager who specializes in income qualification for affordable housing.
I don't know that off the top of my head, but I can certainly dig into that and get you that information.
Awesome.
I'm sure it's located in the work plan somewhere.
I didn't
Yes.
see it, so that's
Okay.
just why I was wondering. And then,
And they might,
oh, go ahead.
no, they might be working just alongside the BRA to kind of help, monitor that as well. Just
Cool.
the income qualification piece of it.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I can reach out to them too, just to see if anything has transpired since.
great. My other one is more, it's not a question or comment about this specific program, but maybe just more of a noticing some policies from MISTA and then the city BRA for the housing TIF program. So just talking about the way we calculate potential rent loss and how that control rent is established for rental properties. Just pointing out that in the calculation for city, it was the rent were used for the caps of 120% AMI. For MISTA, it was like a set control rent that they do for each county. For example, the studio control rent for the city of Grand Rapids using 120% AMI was $2,235. For MISTA, it was $3,908. And then so on and so forth. Just wanting to kind of bring that up and say those numbers, are drastically different, but they're also drastically different from the 120% AMI rents the owner is reporting for the other 20 units in their calculation plan. Just wondering if there was a market study available that we could see kind of a justification for using that number and or kind of just acknowledging that there's a difference there. And that, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't believe that there was a market study specifically for this project. But I can also lean on Sarah to just having internal conversations around the program itself and what it looks like moving forward. So I'd be happy to turn it over to her to share a few words in that regard.
Yeah, we've been relying on, Dakota, we've been relying on the development team to really make that case, but the interim housing guidelines, right, from October of 2023 certainly have been on our minds, and I feel like I've mentioned to this board that the goal to get external stakeholders and this board around a table to look at those. And so that's been my own, the delay on that has been my own capacity, and so I will own that and push the ball forward in moving that, because we've had several questions around our staff meetings around projects with similar thoughts. So trying to be consistent across the portfolio, but also recognizing that the interim guidelines may need to be polished.
Totally. Yeah, and again, I don't think that's any comment on the specific project. They were following the mandates. The plan looked great, right, obviously. Just kind of bringing up some somewhat inconsistencies between programs, and also just wanting to acknowledge that as this program grows, wanting to really actually see the real potential rent loss for that specific unit, that specific location, and those amenities. So, thanks.
Thank you. Great question. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Okay, there's a motion to approve on 443 Sheldon Avenue Southeast. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Number 3, I need a motion or a resolution approving Act 381 work plan for the Powers Place redevelopment project located at 800 and 764 Powers Avenue Northwest. Thank you.
Support.
Supported. Thanks.
All right. Very similar to the previous request before you. This is another housing TIF project that has made its way through the local approval processes, has submitted a work plan, and then we will be submitting that off to the Michigan State Housing Development Authority for their review and potential approval. As a quick reminder, this was an infill redevelopment of a vacant property intending to be developed into 8 townhomes in the West Grand neighborhood. And this is a project that has a total of 8 residential units. The BRA did commit to going below policy and allowing for one of those units to be priced for households earning at or below 100% of area median income in order to gain the full 25 years of affordability. Excuse me, the total project cost on this one is $2.7 million, and they have some pretty high inclusion plan goals as well for this one, roughly 20% participation, or about $500,000 of the $2.4 million in construction costs. Construction is anticipated to, I know this site in particular has some site preparation issues with retaining walls, so I think the goal was to start construction in the fall of 2025. That might be delayed a little bit given what they're up against, but ultimately, yeah, anticipated project completion in the fall / winter of 2026. So happy to take any questions.
Great. Questions? Go ahead.
So just thinking about when we had this review, and then we had the presentation at City Commission, and, Sarah, to this point, that this was, an exception that, but, not just sort of not just by the wind, but planned out and thought out. Have we documented that somewhere? Just thinking for what you brought up, Dakota, we're going to be having a commission session next week. We're going to be talking about our mid-year review. What are some of the pieces? And so knowing that we have a number of new people on commission, and I just want to be prepared for some of those policy pieces. So can you talk about that?
And when you say that, you mean where we're deviating?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
we have had conversations in office because we've got a new project management.
And I'm going to stop because I just did what Lynn said. Hey, can you, so since this is Orlando's first meeting, so I don't want you to think and Orlando has this really strong finance and accounting background, so he's probably okay, what are you talking about, Mindy? But, so this project, as was mentioned, had some challenges with I don't even know how to say the grading of the land. I don't know, Dakota, help me if I'm not saying these things right, or both of these smart individuals next to me. And so it added some additional costs to the site. And so we had to make some decisions, or the team made some decisions. Again, this was an emerging developer. What were some of the challenges? So we went outside of our policy for the we had one unit that was going to have affordability for the 25 years, right?
Yes, so the policy states 20%
Yes,
of the units
20%.
need to be affordable.
And so it was presented to us, we accepted it, it made sense in terms of a number of the goals that we had. It went to City Commission, I think it did pass, but I think there were some questions there. And so then coming back to this body as we move forward, again, I don't know that every project's going to be like this. This could be the only one, but just wanting to have that documented so that as we get new board members, or even as we have new City Commission folks, that it's not just something that, economic development decided to do on a whim. It was well thought out. There were these considerations. So I just want to make sure that incurs. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you bringing that up, because there was a dialogue at the staff level when we looked, the DVA, under this housing interim guidelines, we don't believe that there have been many deviations, if any. And we're talking about how we can maybe track that in our new project management software. So we're using Salesforce, right? And so we probably need to round that conversation out, but yes, noted. Thank you. Thank you.
And then I just had one other question. Again, I'm a little late to the game on this one, so I apologize. On page 144 of, in the work plan, it states that it has conflicting amounts. So it says rent and income qualification is at 120, and then rent is set at 100. So just confirming that the rent or the income cap is 100%, and so is the rent cap. That will be the enforcement. Is that true?
Yes, so I had a conversation about that as well. It's a generalized statement that's included in the work plan with this particular Michigan Growth Advisors that created the work plan to state that the project is below 120%.
Got it.
Of area median. It reads funny.
It does.
Funny, but yes, I did clarify that
Okay.
that in fact it's 100% of area median income
Great.
for the project.
And then just one additional question about management. So income qualification is a requirement every year. Are they working with a management company that will ensure that?
Not yet that I'm aware of, but can certainly circle back.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, and just to be clear on that point, Dakota, while the applicant could choose a management company, it's my impression they can choose to manage it themselves as well, right? So just calling attention to that. Okay.
Yeah, totally understand. I think that's
there may be
again,
capacity questions, right? There
Yeah.
may be other things that spin off of that, but the act allows, right? It's pretty liberal in
Yep.
application there, so I just want to call some attention.
totally. Yeah, I think that's more of just putting it on our radar because income qualification is difficult. There's a lot of different processes. MISHDA does require a specific approach to the housing TIF income qualification.
Yep.
So maybe, if that's maybe like an internal question we could ask or I don't know how.
Yeah, no, I can provide an update in that regard. So we've been working alongside the county. There are a handful of municipalities that have been brainstorming about how we're managing this as a collective, and then also just within, obviously Grand Rapids is quite different than Lowell or other smaller communities in the region, but trying to take a first stab at a collective approach. And so we anticipate those findings towards the end of this month, and, again, anticipate that impacting potentially the interim guidance as well.
I just want to point out that in the development and reimbursement agreement that will follow, it is spelled out in there. And it also holds any management company that does come into the picture to the same standards and obligations as the developer himself. So, beautiful. Thank you.
All right. Any other comments, questions? Okay. All those in favor of the resolution?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Awesome. Number 4, approval of invoices documenting eligible expenses for 1601 Madison LLC redevelopment project at 1601 Madison Southeast. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
Good morning, board members.
Morning.
Welcome, Board Member Bonifacio. Just for context for the board, especially new board members, the preceding 3 projects were projects that have not occurred yet. They are going through the approval process for incentives. The project that I'm about to present is different in that this project is complete and is now coming back to the board 4 years after it's the process that we're seeing for those other 3 projects that we just saw. So this project is complete. We like to bring projects back to the board, oftentimes because projects take so long to complete construction that oftentimes the board members change, obviously, and some board members may not be familiar with the project or may have forgot about it 4 years on. So just wanted to provide that context. This project is located at 1601 Madison Southeast. It was a partnership between Amplify GR, Rockford Construction, and I'll invite John Ipple to come join if you'd like. the project demolished a large contaminated building, which I'll welcome Mr. Ippel to speak about. The maximum reimbursement amount was almost $2 million, and we can see that the actual costs that came in were about $900,000. If you're wondering about that, it's because we received an EAGLE grant to assist with the contamination at the site and built a vapor barrier as part of the project. The project now is a let's see, 51,000 square foot building housed within the MCPC company is now the resident there. You can see the picture on the screen here. There's some photographs of the existing building. Was it a plating building?
It was, yep.
Plating building during construction.
Wow.
And then after. So the request before you today is an approval of the total eligible costs of $893,960 and a current payment due of $202,380. And with that, I'll let Mr. Ippel speak more about the project.
Thanks, Richard. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing?
Good morning.
This is truly a project that demonstrates it takes a village to do large and complex things. I'm going to go back to this picture because I think this really gives just a great visual of how complicated this project was. So this formerly was Dexter Lock in its heyday. So if you look at old locks, if you have a 100-year-old house, oftentimes it was a Dexter lock mechanism that was made here. And so as Christian mentioned, a lot of that involved chrome plating. And so there's some pretty toxic uses that were done in this space. And so I think for us, not only is this a economic development opportunity, this really is a restorative and environmental justice opportunity as well. And so this is nested in the heart of 49507, and certainly there is significant or was significant ground contamination that was a part of this. So as you can see by the scale of the demolition, there was a reason why it took 20 plus years for this building to come down, because as Christian mentioned, it took literally over $2 million just to get the property pad ready for new construction in the future. So we've been working with a great company called MCPC. MCPC is a technology services provider. So one example is they have what they call the Fab Lab, and they will program like 10,000 iPhones at a time for a hospital system. And so it's just a great example of someone that's working in the technology space, but it's also very inclusive in the way that they have a variety of different employment opportunities from deliverers to PhD, computer scientists, and everything in between. So this is very much the type of innovative and kind of tech-forward companies that we want. Some of the highlight stats, we recycled over 90% of the construction debris as part of this project, and so that included top of mind 1,500 tons of metal, and I don't remember how many thousands of tons of crushed concrete were also recycled. The commitment was 26 net new jobs, and so currently they're at 27 net new jobs, and that averages about $22 per hour in terms of those new hires. So one of the other things that we did is we have a local hiring commitment with MCPC, and so they have committed to 30% of hires coming from the 49507 community, and so currently they are meeting that goal as well. So very community-minded in terms of how their work in the neighborhood is going. So two more quick stats. In terms of MWBE 49507, we've actually hit 29% MWBE participation on this project. So, certainly a very high bar that we set for ourselves and one that we're definitely proud of. And the other thing is this is helping catalyze other inclusive growth as well. And so the MCPC projects is about 3 acres of about a 10-acre site. And Gentex, which will be coming forward this board at some point in the future, has since purchased the other 7 acres as well through the City Commission support of a rezoning last year. So great work that started, and certainly significant more work that will be afoot in the next couple of years as well. So I can answer any questions if there is any, or turn it back over to Christian.
Questions?
Good morning, John. And one question. Yeah, I'm just struck by the 90% recycled number. Do you know what the typical percentage of materials that are recycled is?
To to be honest, do not. You may have a better idea. I think based anecdotally on our own experience, probably less than 50, I think would probably be the norm. So, and I think, a lot of it was just the unique circumstances of, a very large concrete pad, and extensive amounts of metal specific to what this building was that enabled that to happen. I think the other thing is, like, when you do things at scale, it allows you to mobilize different systems that, compared to, say, like a single family house, is going to be much more inefficient, right, to kind of disassemble those types of things and kind of separate them.
And there was land available where it could be crushed. I think that's the other,
Sure.
the other 7 acres had as I recall, a giant mound of crushed concrete in smaller, more, yeah, right, yeah, on the bottom there. In smaller, more dense areas, I think that's impossible.
Right, yeah. Well, congrats. I remember attending maybe the first public meeting, when your organization was just getting going, and I know what a heavy lift that has been from then to now. So just hats off to you.
Thanks, sir.
Anybody else? Great job. Thank you for the background. And Christian, thank you for taking us back and explaining that the ones that we just did were new and this is old, and we kind of bounce all over the place here on this board, but it's fun to see something that's completed and such an awesome project. Thank you very much. Okay, so can I get, I'm sorry, I'll call for the vote on this project. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. All right, number 5 is an activity report for the Grand Rapids Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Environmental Site Assessment Program for November of 2025. Hi, again.
Hello. This is the last one for me, I promise, this morning. Excited to share that we've had 3 new environmental site assessment grant applications that have come before us since the last report out, which I believe was, it might have been August. So I know we didn't do a report out last month. We didn't have any new ones. And so since then, we've had a few. And as you can see, the ones that are highlighted with the exception of the very last one, that was a previous memo, or previous report. But we have had 3 different applications come through. Just to give you a quick overview of those. One being for a project located at 736 Lafayette Avenue, which is, the applicant has a purchase agreement that is a land bank lot. So we're excited to see another purchase agreement there. So the environmental site activities that they're requesting future reimbursement for would be for a phase 1 and a phase 2, which is in the amount of up to $20,000. And so the applicant happens to be Nathan Biller, and so he's intending to combine the Lafayette site alongside the parcel located at 307 Martin Luther King Avenue to then do a 3 to 4 story mixed use build on the site. So 24 to 40 residential units. I think there's still quite a bit that's going to be worked out here before it comes before us again. But the project does anticipate to create 1 to 3 jobs as well in addition to those housing units. And then a second project we have is located at 1525 to 1545 Buchanan Avenue Southwest. And so this is actually an intended expansion of a business that currently is there. And the name of the company is Extreme Demolition. So they're intending to expand. They're growing significantly. They're going to add 25 jobs and do expansion of their site on the subject property. So they are requesting funding for a phase 1 and a phase 2 of up to $28,000 on that site. And then lastly, there's the project located at 904 Sheldon Avenue, which is for the United Methodist Community House, and their continued campus development from across the street that's happening at 900 Division. They are including the expansion of their early childhood development services, and renovations are going to take place to help create about 88 new child development seats, which is really exciting to hear. And then based on those ratios, we'll create an additional 20 new teaching jobs, food service job coordinators, support jobs, so and a total of 24 new jobs on the site. So they have had, they're requesting reimbursement for a phase 1 and then additional lead and asbestos hazardous materials assessments that they had to have done on the site. So that values at about $14,800. And then lastly, I just wanted to do a highlight on numbers here. The total funds that were appropriated for the ESA grant program in fiscal year 2026 were $274,412. And as shown in the attached report and the memo, $67,500 of the appropriation for new projects in 2026, which will be encumbered and leaves us with about $206,912 to use for the remainder of fiscal year 2026, which I know is coming fast. So hopefully we can see some more applications come through as well. But happy to take any questions about that report. And then ultimately what happens next is that if you guys approve this report, then the development teams that have submitted applications can request formal reimbursement from our office, and then we can send out checks to reimburse the project. So happy to take any questions.
Madam Chair, I think we needed a motion still, is that right? So moved.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
Didn't see the little asterisk.
No, it's small.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
I just wanted to make a comment that I'm so excited to see this grant being used. This specific program is really impactful to especially emerging developers, nonprofit developers. These initial reports are costly, as you can see, but they're also instrumental in kind of the next step of a project and making sure that project is done well and that developers can really accommodate for other costs that might come up in them. So I'm really excited, would love to see that last $206,000 being used, but also love to see so many developers who are newer, using lots that have been vacant forever. So just excited to see it. Not a question, more a comment, sorry.
That's okay. Anybody else? Okay, all right. Okay, all those in favor of that late motion? Aye. Opposed? Great. Okay. Is there other business?
I have a couple things I wanted to mention, Chair.
Okay.
Yes. Where are my notes? Okay. Similar to what Christian said, where we want to get the board back to some of the projects that we previously approved. We had a couple of members take a tour of the Third Coast project a few months ago, and I've set up another tour in December, and I just wanted to flag the date. We'll happily take a pulse check and make sure this works for everybody, but wanting to invite the board to tour 111 Lyon on Friday, December 5th. So again, we'll follow up more specifics on the time, whether the morning or the afternoon works better, and go from there. But I'm trying to do this on a quarterly basis where we get the board out and, seeing what the dollars are going towards here.
Cool.
Next, I wanted to bring up the emerging developer grants. So we've been really successful at issuing emerging developer grants to build on the environmental site assessment grants that Dakota just mentioned for early real estate entrepreneurs in that space. And in December, we intend to do a deep dive presentation on the status of those grants and where the portfolio lies so that we can be sure we're hitting the mark because we've had an overwhelming amount of interest in that program. And so we just want to take a beat and make sure that the board is abreast of all the information that we have and go from there. The final comment that I wanted to make was about staff support. So I want to give a shout out to the staff for prepping for these meetings this morning. It's very fluid, and I appreciate their work. And on that note, I've been advocating that we get another Economic Development Coordinator 1 position. So if you recall, in the last year, we added an Economic Development Coordinator 2 position that Jess Solis was promoted into before she left. And then, so we have basically 2 coordinators on the front end that are intaking projects, right? Between Audrey Tappenden and Mackenzie Miller. And so what we're trying to do is add support on the post-approval to the work that Christian is leading. So Christian's acting as Economic Development Coordinator 2 position now, and we're trying to add another one, a Coordinator 1, to support that workload. Because as much as we're approving on the front end, that has real consequences down the line for up to 30 years. So I am trying to get that on. I was hopeful that I could get that on the November 18th commission. meeting, and I'm still learning the mechanics, and when real deadlines are, so I may have missed the mark on that. And so we'll see that between November and December, hopefully at our fiscal committee on Commission Day. And I'm advocating that those dollars just come out of the fund, and I don't believe there's anything that we need to do here. So I just wanted to flag it for awareness.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right, sounds good. Do we have any public comment? Does that mean yes? I think it does.
Excuse me, Regional Thomas with Seeds of Promise again. Yeah, I just want to echo the words of Ms. Sarah Renero and her entire squad. I'm a 30-year HR executive, international, and one of the things that I take a lot of pride in is our city's mission, and I'm looking at people on this dais like Dakota. What a great community. Thank you again. I cannot echo that. It's critical to have that upfront support, let alone the back end for the processes. Thank you.
Thank you. It's very nice of you. Okay, is there any other public comment? Okay. I'm going to adjourn this meeting, but I'm going to have us pause for a little bit because we need to invite up our special directors for our economic development meeting. Okay, so we're adjourned. We'll start up again in a couple minutes. To break up the great conversations that are going around, but, huh? Oh, legal snapback? There she is. We can go. The Economic Development Corporation will come to order. Do we have any public comment on agenda items? Okay. Minute approval. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from August 27th of '25?
So moved.
Thank you. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Can I get a motion for the interim, excuse me, financial statements as of September 30th of '25?
So move.
Support.
Great, thank you. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and
Morning.
everyone I haven't met yet. It's the first time I've presented for this board, so. All right, so these are financials as of September 30th, FY 2026. As a note, we're still in the midst of audit, so the
God, doesn't-
2025 ending fund balance for the authority might change based on adjustments or new things that post, whatnot, so just an FYI. But overall, the authority's statement A indicates a strong position for 2026 and beyond. The authority has spent, I think I read the wrong.
11%.
Hold on. Sorry, these are Brownfield. One second.
That's okay. You guys are always in audit. I don't know how you keep track of anything else.
Yes, and this year's one's a little more complicated, so. So this correction, it should be the reflective of the first 3 months of the authority's fiscal year. The Economic Development Corporation has spent approximately 11% of the budgeted appropriations, but has sufficient cash to meet budgeted FY 2026 expenditures and beyond. Statement A reflects your strong cash balance and fund balance. Statement B reflects revenues and expenses. Still a strong fund balance there. And then statement C will reflect the expenses through September that we'd seek your approval for. And I can take any questions if there are any.
Any questions for the board? Okay, I have one.
Sure.
On statement A, this is, note number 2 is here because of me, because back when, back when we were going to sell the property on market, they borrowed money from us to do some, I guess, land testing or something, property testing.
Okay.
Have they not paid that back yet?
I would have to look into that. I'm not too sure.
I think we anticipate close in the spring.
Oh, that hasn't even closed yet?
No, the option's been exercised, but closing should be spring.
Okay, good, then it'll go away and I'll be happy.
Yeah, the city still owns it because the city's still in the process of getting a bunch of approvals, like, several different levels of government, and so the actual transaction will occur either, probably very.
In the spring. Thank you. I thought it was done. Sorry. Okay, are there any other questions?
No, just a comment. I thought that was budgeted for this fiscal year that we're in.
Yeah.
It is in the
Well,
budget.
I just want it to go away. I want it to get paid back. I don't, my memory is very long. All right, great. We have a motion for approval of the interim financial statements for September. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, our next action item is going to start with a welcome to our two special directors who are here so we can move, and so we can have a resolution to approve the issuance and sale of limited obligation revenue bonds for Beacon Hill at Eastgate project and other documents in connection with the issuance of said bonds. May I get a motion?
So moved.
Okay. Support? Great.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'll take this one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the last step before you here. We've done 7 public meetings between the Economic Development Corporation and City Commission. So this is the 7th meeting, but the 3rd time it's come before this board. I just do a broad overview of the ability of the EDC to actually do this, right? We're empowered under Act 338 of 1974 to assist in the financing or refinancing of certain projects and facilities through the issuance of bonds. The bonds will be used for four different things here. One, to pay or reimburse the borrower for costs associated to construction, and I was excited to see it's under construction if you haven't been by Boston and Plymouth area roughly. So reimburse the borrower for costs associated to construction, pay a portion of the interest on the bonds, fund debt service, and finally pay the cost of the bond issuance. The bonds will not exceed $175 million, which is slightly different than the number that you had before. It was $190 million, so that number has been refined. And I just want to reiterate that this action is secured solely by the pledge of said revenues and receipts made by Michigan Christian Home, also known as Beacon Hill. And this does not, impact the obligation or debt for the city of Grand Rapids. So this is we are a separate body. And then for just benefit on what the project is, and I welcome the special directors to chime in here, but just for, oh yeah, please. Oh, yeah.
So Jeff Hughley could not be here today.
Oh, okay.
He did want everybody to have this to
Oh.
answer the question.
Oh, thank you.
So
Okay.
I thought that-
Sorry, I missed that.
No, that's okay. I don't want to put special directors on the spot. I don't know if you guys know all of this. And I think this was taken probably from planning commission materials. So whoever serves on the planning commission may have already seen this. But
She's not here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then just, wait, I'm sorry, I want to add a few things about the bond ordinance.
Oh, yeah, please. No, I just was going to just quickly say that this is, the project is renovation of the existing skilled nursing building, which accommodates 14 assisted living units and 15 renovated memory care units, as well as the new construction of 101 new independent living apartments for seniors, along with 48 new traditional assisted living unit residences. And if you flip to the aerial, and you look at Plymouth and Boston, the two buildings along Plymouth are gone,
Oh, yeah.
and construction has begun. So I don't know, I welcome the special directors to chime in with any more on the scope there.
I'll give it a shot. I live, my house, my kid's swing set is on the picture, and my house is just off of the picture, so I'm pretty close to the project itself. As far as the scope, it's everything that they said it was going to be. There's no surprises. The two houses are coming down. They've got the foundations are out. They've leveled the land. I went past it this morning on the way here, and they're working on it right now. So I'm happy to comment on anything else, but that's just what I've seen. So.
Sweet, thank you.
So all of the, all of the expansion's going to happen in that corner? Or is there more?
That is correct. That is correct. It will also happen north of the corner of Plymouth and Boston.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, this is, go ahead.
There we go. For those of you who are new, I'm the EDC's attorney. I'm also the EDC's bond counsel. And so I just want to give you a little bit of background. Some of you have done this several times, but as Sarah just mentioned, just to reassure you, because I know you're looking at $175 million here, you are issuing the debt. You are not obligated to repay any of the debt. So the federal government has said that certain 501c3s like Beacon Hill are able to ask economic development corporations to issue tax-exempt debt on their behalf. And so how this works mechanically, what you're approving today is essentially this bond ordinance and then all the related documents. So this is not going to come back to you after today. And what you're doing is you're authorizing, and if you look at page 3 of the bond resolution, it actually speaks to authorizing the president, vice president, treasurer, or secretary of the issuer. You're the issuer. More accurately, that should say chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. So sometimes we use these generic terms, but what you're doing is you are authorizing Jeff
Lynn, Kaylee, and Troy to sign all of the bond documents going forward. So it won't come back to the board, but they will be asked to sign all the related documents, and there are a lot of those. The anticipated closing is, I believe, scheduled for December 1, 2025 so far. That could change, but it's going to be very soon. And trying to think, again, what else to point out about this structure. Again, the EDC issues the bonds. The EDC then loans the bond proceeds to Beacon Hill, and then Beacon Hill does the project. The EDC then steps out and takes all the promises made under the loan agreement and the master trust indenture and assigns them to the bond trustee as security for the bonds. So you won't have any more involvement in this project after you do that, nor will you have any responsibility ongoing. So I know that was a very high overview.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're all going to get refreshers as this goes on, which is great. Take them, yeah. I was a little taken aback. No, sounds great. Okay, is there any other questions about, yes?
As a special.
Yeah.
person,
Got to say something.
It is a lot of money, but they have pre-sold 95% of the units.
Gosh.
So it's, it's basically, the goal is 70 for the banks to say, okay, it's a viable interest. They've sold 95, and that may change today, for all I know. That's very exciting.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
The need in our community is so high.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as we get older, the need's just going to grow, so this is amazing. This is great. Thank you so much. Any other questions or comments? Okay. All those in favor of the resolution to approve the bonding, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you. You both got on record. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any other business for the board? No? Okay. Public comment? All right, we're adjourned. Woo! Yay.